wrist hammer curl. So here we're going to be working these forearm muscles, particularly on the outer side here. I'm not going to get technical with names here, but these outer side muscles on the forearm. So this is really going to help strengthen those muscles. Now, I've shown videos on how to lengthen those muscles, so this is predominantly working on the strengthening element. A bit like the hammer curl for the bicep here, we will be working more of the outside region, but here specifically, because we're looking at the wrist and coming through, we're going to work the muscles here. In fact, you may even see some of the muscles working as I just go through this action without even having any form of resistance whatsoever. Now, you could use this with a dumbbell, for example. Quite lightweight would do, but I'm going to be using it with a resistance band, and I find that perfectly works really well, particularly in this seated position. So you might want to strengthen this for a number of reasons. Maybe it's a rehab reason, and if so, then you take it progressive and steady. Could use a rehab band, for example. Here I'm going to be using just a little bit more of a force hit, but what you want to do is make sure that we're getting the maximal range of motion that we possibly can. And what I'm going to do is adopt this seated position now. So I set this position up right. I tend to find this nice in a seated position, so I'm going to get myself to lean forward slightly. I'm keeping a nice neutral spine. I'm not slouching forward. I'm allowing myself to pivot forward, get that elbow on my thigh like so here, and it gives me a bit of freedom to move this wrist once I've got the resistance in place, keeping that shoulder back and down as well, even though I am in that slight lean forward position. So essentially that's where you're going to be at. Now, you've got a choice here in terms of the hammer curl grip. What you could do is wrap that band around like so, so it goes around the palm. I find that distracting, and it tends to pull more on the hand than anything, and I essentially want to work on exactly what it is I'm trying to build up here, which is on the forearm or the strength. And also, by taking this other grip, which I'm going to suggest now, is simply gripping the band in a vice-like, almost like a punch-like grip there. Then I'm also going to be working on my strength in my fingers in terms of holding on to something. So we're serving a double purpose, albeit loosely. So what I'm going to do is bring that band towards more the edge at the end of the foot, not quite under the toe, still under the ball of the toe, because that's going to bring it more in line, as you'll see. I've got my other foot over the band as a double security, so there I've got double security. Now I already have some tension on here, and all I'm going to do is hold this position. So I've got myself forward, I'm set up nicely. From here I like to keep my other hand on my shoulder for shoulder health, and even down here I'm working right now. That tension is still working with that wrist pushed down towards the floor, the fist at least looking down, the knuckles are looking down towards the floor, and that's the start position. And from here what I'm going to do is look to extend up without moving this forearm, so I'm getting as much range of motion as I can. You may well get more range of motion than me. Now you can stick the thumb up in the air if you want to reiterate a point that we're going thumbs up, thumbs forward, thumbs up, thumbs forward. All these little cues work well, and you really will feel this work. It doesn't take a lot to work these muscles. Again, as I always say when it comes to the wrist and the forearm there, work within yourself. Don't go crazy. We're not talking about big, powerful muscles here. These are quite intricate muscles, and there's a lot of ligaments, a lot of tendons that run through the hands and the wrist as well. So take your time. You can build up slowly and develop as you go. And this is a real good one for working those forearm muscles. So obviously you'll do both sides in that hammer grip. Hammer grip meaning that the hand is like so. This will be more of a traditional curl position with the palm facing up. Here we're in this neutral grip like so, and this is how we perform this hammer grip like so. So again, just to reiterate, set yourself forward. Here, allow that hand to come down. This is our start position, and from here we're working that range of motion. Nice and controlled. We're not rushing anything, we're just keeping it nice and controlled. And very quickly you'll feel this fatigue set in. Obviously I'm looking to you to camera, but obviously keep your body nice and straight when you're executing this. But I'm presenting this in the tutorial style, and therefore I want to make sure that I'm conveying the points that need to be conveyed. So great exercise. Quite fatiguing on those muscles. You might be quite surprised how fatiguing it is. In fact, at the end, if need be, then just give those muscles a loosening, just a gentle massage. I'm not squashing here, just gentle loosening massage to allow the fatigue to offset out of those muscles, and then just have a real good feel-good factor about it, and then go on about whatever you're doing.